So, ladies, let's talk about referrals and specifically agent to agent referrals because as we are in South Florida, we know that we get a lot of people who are buying from out of state. And 30% of my business is agent to agent referrals. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely deal with a lot of referrals.
That's incredible. Wow. Good for you.
So when it comes to referrals, whether it's in state, out of state, what do you feel like are your biggest pain points with agent to agent referrals?
All the people that will just refer people because they're friends or because they like something they did, but they don't know if they're have like systems or competencies or even like a personality kind of match with their client, which I know a good agent can kind of get along with anyone, but you want it to be a good match, right? Like I think that just I don't know, blindly referring your people because you know them somehow through Instagram or whatnot, it's nice, but like we on as the receiving ones need to understand that we need to take it as like an interview still because people shouldn't just blindly listen to people.
I think that's such a good point. I think referrals can be so valuable and so amazing, but I think agents really need to take their time vetting on both ends. If you're going to give a referral, you should know the person. Like, this is not a lead that came into your Zillow or your website that is like, oh, I want Fort Lauderdale, and you know nothing about Fort Lauderdale. You don't know a single agent. You don't know anything about this person. And you're like, hey, I Googled you. I have this lead. Have it. That's not a referral to me.
No.
And I feel like that happens. You get excited and you're like, oh, let's give a referral. But I really think you need to vet the person and do the reverse. Find an agent, like Katie said, who has, experience in that city, in that market, with that type of property, be it condo, be it house, and really like take your time because they can be amazing. Like I'm sure Tiana, with 30% of your business, there's times when I refer a best friend or a family member and they're a great human that's going to work well with you and be really easy because I have like vetted them, they know what they want. It should be a slam dunk. But I think a lot of times people skip the vetting of the client and the agent, and it makes it a hot mess. It makes me not even want referrals.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny because I get a lot of inbound referrals versus outbound. And I would say that in my head, I have a good process and like a good amount of questions that I ask the other agent. As I'm on the phone, like I'm looking up the agent when they're telling me their name, I'm looking them up in Forward and it just like making sure I'm doing my own due diligence because there's so many scams out there. But yeah, it's to your point, Megan. It's like it's asking the questions that need to be asked of like who is this person, not just the agent, but who is the client? What do they want? What are they looking for? And now, like the referring agent's not going to know exactly what they want in our market if it's a completely different market. But they should have a general idea. Like they're going to be buying a condo or they're going to be buying a house or they want a place to put their boat, like whatever it might be, they'll have like a general idea, or they should anyway.
Right, exactly. Like if they're helping them sell a current property,
Exactly.
then we know the timeline, we know their motivation, something like that. But if they have no reference point whatsoever, it can be really sloppy and difficult. And with a 25 or 30% referral fee attached, it's almost like, let me just go find my own lead.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I have one right now and I think it was done excellent. So she's in California. She is the children are her clients and it's an older lady whose house I'm selling. The mother lived here and she's selling her house to go out there and live in assisted living with them. So she called me. She looked me up in Tom Ferry. She called me. She fully vetted me. She asked me a bunch of questions. And then she still had them interview other agents probably, or they just chose to do that. But like she thought, okay, you seem like a good match. I have no idea how many other people in Tom Ferry she called, but she liked me. So I met with the client and then I won him over, but I know he interviewed at least somebody else because I don't know who it's from, but it worked. And now she can be like doing a good job for her clients over there. So they're like, oh, I have people everywhere. And it does. It is so nice when you have a reload person either come in or someone that you're selling their house went out. If you know the other side of the transaction and they're most like happening at the same time, so much easier.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a big difference between a lead and a referral. Like a referral is like you said, Katie, when they took the time and they care for this person and they set them up on a path to success with you being the chosen agent and working together. I had a referral I closed recently. Me and the other agent went in on a closing gift because she knew them really well from home. And so we got them this beautiful closing gift. And she is asking, how's the transaction moving along? What can I do to help you? And it was really a partnership. She earned that referral fee by teeing off this fabulous transaction. And I think agents should put more time into making their referrals that meaningful, not
I
just
love
giving
that.
out leads.
Yeah. And then also on your end, if you refer somebody that doesn't do a good job, that makes you look bad.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. So when you guys are referring out of state, what are the things that you're looking for in that other agent?
I'm looking for somebody that has like a process, because if you are like if we kind of click, get along, likable, like you probably can get along with other people easily. You're just normal. But when they have like a process, it does not have to be the world's most efficient buyer process, selling process, whatever. But as long as they like have a track record and a process that I can trust that they're going to be thorough enough to get it done right. And as they say something along the lines of communication, because if it is a good client of mine, I do want to be kind of kept in the loop a little bit. So I think that's important.
I usually look for experience. Like if I were shopping for a realtor, or like what I do to market myself, I kind of look for that. I know I had a home friend recently, my best friend. So it was like a very referral. Like I know everything about her and her husband, and they know which neighborhood and what school they want to go to in Houston. So I was able to look up that area, who's the dominant agent, and reach out to them based on experience and what they want. So I think it's important to do your due diligence if it's really someone that um, you want to refer to and have it work out really well.
Meg, what would you say is, because your friend lives in Houston, right? So I'm sure she knows a million realtors. How did you end up getting that referral? Like, did she come to you or did she know to come to you to ask who the best agents are?
I had coached her, yes. So for a long time, I was like, when you're ready, like, let me know and I'll help introduce you to like the best agent. And so we kind of did it together. But it is tricky, people from another city that have their own network there, they sometimes don't. So she's, my first referral, and I grew up in Houston and all my best friends still live there and know I'm a realtor. So, like, yes, it's not as simple as you might think. But I kind of groomed her when she was having a kid and things are happening. I was like, keep me in the loop whenever you're ready to buy. Like, I'll take you step by step. Let's do this. So that was, really helpful, like nurturing that sphere. And you nurture them just like you would your sphere and your leads locally. You have to think about those things. And when she had a baby, send a gift, like do the normal things you would for any of your other clients, leads, friends that can generate business.
Love it.
So I have a question. I haven't even told you guys this yet, and I don't do that many referrals, so I don't have as much. I don't really know how this works. So a local agent that I've not done a deal with, but she lives in my parents' neighborhood. We've crossed paths a little bit of time. Her dog got out once, and I found it. It was great. We became friends for it. She called me last week and was like, "Hey, I moved to North Carolina, blah blah blah. I have this 15-year successful business in Jupiter." She does like 20 transactions a year. I think she said, not like huge, but like she has her good all sphere, all repeat clients. And she's like, so I'm looking for a couple agents to partner with to like help my clients. And I'm like, that sounds awesome. So we talked about it. We're going to get rolling with it, which is amazing. Like just to nurture them. And then I think we're going to do 25%. But then like, what about like an expiration for that? So like if I'm nurturing her clients and she's never moving back to Jupiter, like what would be a fair or appropriate thing to like say like 2 years we do 25% no matter how many transactions, then like 10% for life, or like what's normal? Is that a normal thing? I'm sure this
Usually
can't
it's
be the
just
first time it's happening.
one. So like,
One.
yeah.
I was going to say one or two per person,
I
depending
mean, if it's
on
an
your agreement.
investor and
Got
you
it.
know they're going to buy five, that's different. But if it's just somebody buying a home, I mean, most people stay in their home 7 to 10 years. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Okay.
think just 1 year. And then once that, what I do is I take the referral agreement and I put it in my CRM. So I have it on that client's card basically, so I can like refer to it easily. And then because it's happened to me before where like a year has gone by and that person hasn't done the transaction. And if they start coming back to me and we start working on something, I'll send it back to the agent. Like I'm honest, like I send it back to the agent and I'm like, hey, let's sign this again.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. There's no like.
There's a really good book for that I'll recommend. If anyone's interested in something like Katie mentioned, it's called The Golden Handoff. And it's really neat. It's about targeting an agent that maybe moved out of your market or an older agent that might be phasing out of the business and creating those systems so that you can take over that book of business. And there's different ways to structure it. So the book talks a lot about different ways. But I mean, if they're really good leads, you could do as much as 50%, and that person can do nothing but hand you business. Or if they're away and they're just giving you essentially a spreadsheet, but you're doing all the work, 20-25% per person that you close for one transaction is really fair. So that's just a neat resource to kind of talk about ways to structure that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. I'm gonna look into that.
Yeah.
Any final tips for referrals, whether incoming, outgoing?
It's funny you mentioned that, Tiana, because I don't give a lot of outgoing. I don't know if it's Florida or they're harder. I'm curious. Katie, do you come across that?
Oh, I give out more than I take in because I have a bubble and I don't like leaving my bubble.
You are
So
so
I'll just
good
send
at
them out.
staying in your bubble. I'm jealous of you. You are so good about it.
I know it's intentional.
Very good about it.
And it's working. I mean, it's good because
Meghan and I drive all over the state.
I'm a really good.
I know.
real
I'm
estate
technically
agent in the
going to an
bubble.
inspection in Katie's bubble tomorrow.
You know, I would. You know, it would have to be like a waterfront house, like $3-4 million for me to go to your bubble. I wouldn't otherwise.
That's so
I
fun.
love it. Well, we'll have to have another conversation about that. Is like how do you create your bubble and stay in your bubble?
Yeah,
because you are good
Yeah, niching and scaling, it's hard.
for sure. All right, ladies. Well, thanks for staying above average, and we will catch you on the next one.
See ya.